When did you realize that you married the wrong person? I never thought I would be asking myself this question, but here I am. My husband Jake and I had been married for 5 years when things started to unravel. We had what I thought was a perfect life, a home in the suburbs, careers, and plans to start a family. The first red flag appeared when I discovered I had stage 2 breast cancer. The diagnosis came as a shock to both of us. I was 32 years old with no family history. When I told Jake, I expected him to hold me and tell me we would get through this together. Instead, he looked at me in revulsion. Will you lose your hair? Your breasts? Those were literally his first questions, not if I would be okay or how I was feeling. In the days that followed, Jake became distant. He started sleeping in the guest bedroom, claiming he didn't want to disturb me when I wasn't feeling well after treatments, but I knew the truth. He couldn't stand to look at me. During my first round of chemotherapy, Jake was absent. He claimed he had an important meeting at work that couldn't be rescheduled. My sister Melissa took me instead, holding my hand through the entire session. When I got home, weak and nauseated, I found Jake hosting a dinner party with his colleagues. "I figured you'd be resting," he said dismissively when I appeared in the doorway, pale and wearing my headscarf. A coworker, Claire, sat in my usual spot at the table. She gave me a look before continuing to laugh at whatever joke Jake had just told. 3 weeks into my treatment, I lost all my hair. I cried for hours that night, mourning not just my health, but the loss of something that had always made me feel feminine and beautiful. Jake walked in on me sobbing in the bathroom, clumps of hair surrounding me on the floor. "Jesus, can you clean that up? It's disgusting," he said before walking out. The next day, I came home from a doctor's appointment to find Jake and Claire in our living room, looking at travel brochures. "We're just planning the company retreat," he explained when I appeared, but I saw the way their hands jumped apart when I entered. After my double mastectomy, Jake refused to look at me. He wouldn't help change my surgical dressings or assist me with bathing. "I married a woman, not whatever this is," he muttered one night after I asked for help reaching for my medication. The final straw came 6 months into my treatment. My oncologist announced I was responding well and my prognosis was excellent. I rushed home, eager to share this rare piece of good news with Jake. When I opened our bedroom door, I found him and Claire tangled in our sheets. "She's going to die anyway," I heard him tell her as I stood frozen in the doorway. I deserve to be happy. In that moment, something inside me hardened. I closed the door without saying a word and walked straight to our home office. I called our lawyer, my sister, and then the locksmith. By the time Jake and Claire emerged from the bedroom 3 hours later, Melissa was helping me pack my essentials. "What the hell are you doing?" Jake demanded, his face flushed with anger and embarrassment. "I'm leaving you," I said calmly, "and I'm taking half of everything." The divorce was ugly. Jake tried to argue that my medical condition constituted a change in our marriage contract. His lawyer even claimed I was selfish. The judge was not impressed. Neither was the board of directors at the company where Jake and I both worked when I submitted evidence of his affair with a subordinate. I got our house and most of our assets, with Jake still covering my health insurance. 2 years later, I'm cancer-free. My hair has grown back in curls, I've had reconstructive surgery, and started dating again. Jake, meanwhile, lost his executive position and now works for one of our competitors at half his former salary. Claire dumped him shortly after he was demoted. Last week, I received a text from him asking if we could meet to talk about reconciliation. I didn't bother responding. Some forms of cancer I've learned aren't worth trying to cure.